Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome one and all to this newest edition of the Running on Empty Food Review series. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Thank you for checking in. Well, this has to be probably the novelty item of novelty items, albeit a creative one at that. Taco Bell is making an ambitious expansion into the world of dessert with the limited time release of their Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie. Those are two words that I never really expected to see in the same sentence. Those two words being, of course, Mountain Dew. That was a horrible joke right there. But no, I really, this took, a lot of people by surprise. Baja Blast flavored pie. It's available at the price of $20 for a pie. And, you see it right here. You get a full-blown pie. It's described as being creamy. It has a graham cracker crust, whipped cream on it, and then the pie itself is supposed to be that color like a Mountain Dew Baja Blast would be, and it's supposed to be like a key lime style pie with some of those notes that you would expect to have that of Mountain Dew Baja Blast. I think it's going to be interesting, and a lot of people have wanted to see it. A lot of people have been asking for a review for it, so I got it, and here it is. Again, $20 for the pie, which you might say $20, that's pretty steep from Taco Bell, but like I said, this is a novelty item. You are getting an actual pie right here. This is what the packaging looks like. Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie. Yours by a slice of luck, it says. And what else does it say on it? Anything? What does it say on the back here? Chill out with a slice. Cut frozen with a warm, wet knife and thaw in fridge for 30 minutes. Okay. Oh, these are just instructions for if you want to save it. Okay. Got this one. It's still nice and cool. And we will see. So this is what it looks like on the inside. It comes in this plastic protective covering that they call wrapping. So let's unravel this and get the wrapping off. Break the seal. See, this is what my fingernails are good for, right here. Just tearing it open like a wild animal. But it gets the job done. And this is going to be interesting. We're going to see, here we go, how this is. This is the moment of truth. Let's open this up and see. Oh, good heavens. Wow, this looks like it turned out perfect. This almost looks like a pie that was thrown in someone's face and then given to me. And you saw this was completely unsealed, or completely sealed, I should say, and I wasn't throwing this around. This is literally how I got it. Not a very photo-friendly Baja Blast pie, so if I am to grade this solely off of presentation, as they would say, it looks awful. However, that may not influence the taste in any way, shape, or form, because all the ingredients are still there. You see the whipped cream, the crust, and the Baja Blast filling. But my gosh, this looks horrible from an aesthetic point of view. This is one of the ugliest pies I have ever seen. If this was on the Food Network, forget it. But, lucky for Taco Bell, I'm not really overly concerned in the actual appearance of this. I just want to see what it tastes like. So, I'm going to try to cut as proper a piece as can be cut, which might be, well, let's just say, difficult, given that the structural integrity of this is so compromised. Yeah, this isn't even going to work. The thing is just falling apart, so I'm just going to go in at this point. If this didn't look like it was smashed to pieces, you know, I wouldn't have to worry about that, but I'm going to take an unconventional approach, and I'm just going to eat it by the forkful then, in that case. So let's just do it. Let's get a good bite in right here, like so, and try it out. Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie from Taco Bell going in. Sorry I can't eat it conventionally, but let me see how it is. Alright, going in, let's see. I know it sounds stupid, but I am let down by the appearance, a little disappointed by it, but as far as the taste goes, so far so good, at least. It feels all kinds of wrong to just go into this with a fork, but the thing literally refuses to cut itself into any actual slice. But, appearance aside, it's actually a good dessert. And, you could consider me a fan of it. The best way to describe it would be that it definitely is like an interesting combination of that key lime. Actually, let me adjust something real quick. I'm sorry about that. I was a little worried. I was just about the glare of one of the lights, but it turned out it's not really any sort of issue. I just wanted to double check it. Anyway, so what I was just getting at, as far as the flavor is concerned, I think that the description of this item does it justice. You know, there are some times where it's described as being a certain way, and then you taste it, and it's like, wait a minute, what are they even talking about here? But I do think that it really is a good description where it really does remind me of like a key lime pie. It definitely does have that, you know, sort of citrusy note, you know, especially, of course, the, you know, the lime aspect of it. But, you know, it's not overpowering in that you try it out. It is smooth. It is creamy. But it's not necessarily, you know, overly tart or sour. It does have, like I said, that very noticeable citrus aspect to it, and that sharpness that obviously is going to be there. At the same time, however, it is like a pleasant key lime pie. The whipped cream on the crust is a bit thicker than what you would expect from something store-bought, which this does obviously offer sweetness, vanilla flavor. However, it's not very light, it's definitely a heavier cream that you get, but the sweetness does a good job, and it does actually complement the Baja Blast key lime base quite nicely. The crust as well is pleasant. It is a graham cracker crust. The dryness is not an issue. I will say, though, is that the crust on the bottom of the pie, I actually think can be a little thicker, because there is some weight to this. Don't get me wrong. The base and the cream and all of that, this is not, some sort of light and airy sort of pie. There's definitely, weight to it, and it is quite filling as well. So if, provided you don't get one that looks like it was run over, by a car, like what I received, if yours actually is a normal-looking pie and can be cut and consumed normally, as opposed to how I kind of had to eat it like some sort of scavenger with a fork, then my concern would be that the weight of the pie filling itself, the bottom crust may not be able to sustain all of that. And I think it's disproportionately small. So I do believe that the bottom crust of the pie should just be there should be a little more to it. And, because it's enjoyable too. It tastes good. So overall, though, as far as a novelty dessert is concerned, it's better than what I was thinking. And what I wanted to do, on one last note, is I got some Baja Blast along with it. And now let's compare the two. Let's take a sip of the Baja Blast. And direct comparison now. Try out some of this Baja Blast filling once more. You could definitely strike a comparison between the two, but what I will say is that the pie has notes of Baja Blast in it. It's not like the exact flavor profile of Baja Blast, merely there's notes and characteristics of it in the pie, whereas the Baja Blast that you would be drinking, is just the pure Baja Blast flavor, as one could say. So I think it's good, though. I think it's inventive. Yeah, it's a little gimmicky, but as far as I see it, I didn't think I would be sitting here ever reviewing a full-blown pie from Taco Bell. It's a novelty. It's $20. This isn't something that I would be, getting every single day or anything like that. However, for what it is, a one-time novelty, it's not a bad dessert. I'm not going to score this off of appearance. I think what I received looks... It's a shameful display compared to how it's advertised and what I actually got. But I'm not going to be grading this off of whether it looks good. I grade this whether it tastes good or not. So, appearance notwithstanding, yeah, it's a novelty, but it's actually pretty solid for what it is. And if you have $20 to spare, I would genuinely say to go out and get this just to say you got it. Because even though it's a novelty, it's not bad either. It's very filling. I think a little of this is going to go a long way. This is something that I'll easily, put back in the refrigerator for a bit and pick at it here and there, essentially, but not bad. So, out of 10, Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie from Taco Bell. It's interesting, it's out there, but they did a good job. I have no issues with it. Pleasant key lime flavor. Out of 10, 8.8 is what I'm going to rate it. Could have a few minor little tweaks here and there, but for what it is, it's not bad. Better. It's honestly better than what I was expecting. Yeah, if I were to grade this off of appearance, it would get a much less generous score, but I'm really just concerned whether it tastes good or not, and whether it's worth it or not. And like I said, yeah, it's a novelty, but hey, it's pretty good for what it is. I can't complain there. So, like I said, my opinion, no harm in going out and getting it. Get it while the getting's good. And that's all that I have for you. So, tried out the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie, lived to tell the tale, and that's all that I have for you. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm your host, The Report of the Week.